The Game Academy is always buying. We're here, ElderDragon Highlander on YouTube. We're going to be joining the deck interview today with the Game Academy's J-Mart. A lot of people don't think that Beatdown is a viable format in ElderDragon Highlander. Basically, the 100-card decks, a lot of them run combo. A lot of people are playing control. J-Mart's going to take us through his Horde of Notions Beatdown deck and show you guys how to build this archetype and take you through some of his card choices. I've seen the deck in action. It's the real deal. J-Mart, tell us a little bit about how you ended up with Horde of Notions.
I decided on Horde of Notions because I knew I wanted to play 5 colors so I could play all the best cards in Magic. Horde of Notions really fits the theme of my deck with the Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. His second ability is definitely really relevant. Sometimes I get back Chameleon Colossus and other elementals that I used to have in my deck. So he's really one of the best choices out of the legendary generals out there.
J-Mart, take us through some of the creatures that fuel your Beatdown engine out of the Horde of Notions deck.
Isamaru, Wild Nikotl, 1-mana 3/3. Savannah Lions, pretty standard. Blood Halloos, this guy gets really big, really fast in my deck. Carnophage. Grim Lavamancer, one of my favorite utility creatures, always gets in the last couple points of damage.
Yep, nice.
Kurt Ape.
Staple. Yeah.
Dark Confidant, another one of my favorite cards. Gilded Drake, this guy, if my opponent has a really big guy I just want to trade for a 2-mana 3/3, this guy gets in there. Kind of Ancient Law, another utility creature, destroys enchantments. This guy again, disenchants.
Qasali Pride Mage is good utility.
Gag-T, this guy keeps me out of a lot of bad situations. Opponents can't play spells that cost X or 4 or more.
Sure, in the slower format like EDH, that guy can just be epic.
Yeah. Watchwolf, everyone's favorite Tarmogoyf.
Nice.
Putrid Leech, 2-mana 4/4, can't go wrong with that guy in my deck. This guy, Tide Hollow Sculler, he basically takes a card out of their hand and stops them from playing that. Quirion Dryad, kind of like Blood Halloos, gets really big, really fast in my deck.
Cool.
Viridian Shaman, destroy target artifact, everyone knows what that does, another utility creature. Rock Swarmwalk, 3-mana 3/4.
Little lifelink.
This is one of my favorite EDH cards, should be in really every deck.
This guy's sick. He's great. With all the tutors and search that goes on in EDH,
yep,
he can really stifle some people's plans.
Trigon Predator. 3-mana 5/4 Willy Thoktar.
Just huge.
Knight of the Reliquary. This guy, I've had this guy become a 20/20 after Armageddon.
He's one of the best, yep.
Burning Tree Shaman, he stops all those Sensei's Divining Top tricks that your opponents like to do all the time, you know what I mean?
Take some damage, thanks.
Another destroy target artifact. This guy, I just recently added this card. He's a 3-mana 3/2 flyer. Whenever he deals damage to your opponent, they discard a card, and he has Unearth.
Sure.
If you want to leave some comments, tell me what you think about this guy. I just recently added him in my deck.
He could be a potential 2 or 3 for 1, so I could see that.
Yep. Ewit needs to be in every deck if you have access to green mana. Shadow Mage Infiltrator. Another one of my favorite, Bloodbraid Elf. Have you ever cast Vampiric Tutor and then played Bloodbraid Elf? It's pretty awesome.
That's pretty great. You can set it up.
Avalanche Riders. We all know what that guy does. Ranger Reveos. Normally I get this guy, play this guy, get Blood Halloos and Wild Nikotl, and then get some tricks there. This guy's kind of tricky. His name is Etched Oracle. He has Sunburst. You can pay 1 and remove 4 counters from it and draw 3 cards. So basically a 4-mana 4/4 in my deck. Venser. We all know what that guy does. Bounce a spell. And Chameleon Colossus. Chameleon Colossus, Elemental, Horde of Notions. If he dies, get him right back.
Pretty much one of the most awesome creatures of all time, and a nice way to top out your curve.
Thanks. Here. I decided since I was going to go with 5 colors that I would just start really at the basics. 10 of the original dual lands, 10 of the Ravnica Shock lands. I added in my original list I only had 5 fetch lands, but with the addition of Zendikar, it allowed me to add the new 5 that you see there. Wasteland, Strip Mine that you're going to see here in a second. Also, I recently added Reflecting Pool instead of, I used to have Thran Quarry in my deck, but I found that sometimes if I played that and Isamaru turn 1 and someone killed it, I was out of gas. So I took that out and added Reflecting Pool, which seems to go good with the 20 dual lands in my deck, along with the City of Brass that you see there at the end.
And we'll start with your tutors.
First card, Demonic Tutor. Search your deck for any card.
Black border, awesome.
Vampiric Tutor. Search your deck for any card. You pay 2 life. Mystical Tutor lets you search your deck for an instant or sorcery. Usually I search for Armageddon with this card if I don't already have it.
All right.
Worldly Tutor basically lets me search my deck for any creature and put it on top of my deck. If I'm in a tight spot, I'll basically search for something that can get me out of it.
Cool.
Eldari's Call, another tutor. This searches for a creature, but it lets me put it in my hand.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. You don't see that gets much play, but that card's really good.
Sensei Stop, I'm pretty sure everyone has this card in their deck. Everyone knows what it does. You look at the top 3 cards, you can tap it to draw a card. Lets me set up with Dark Confidant and dig deep in my deck for a solution.
Nice.
This card, Zwang, or Duress in English. Look at my opponent's hand, get a card out of it. I believe it has to be non-creature,
nice.
non-land.
Then to pair with that, Thoughtseize.
Thoughtseize,
Very
always
cool.
good in one-on-one. Again, my deck's more aggro, so normally I try to keep my opponents off big threats that they have.
Mass removal and stuff like that.
Yep.
In the deck.
Well, the removal of my deck's pretty standard. I have a lot of just the best removal in Magic.
All right, Path to Exile.
Fire Ice, Lightning Helix. We have Mortify as the next card.
Mortify is great.
This is Terminate. Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt, the old school one. Nice.
STP, or Swords to Plowshares. Putrefy, another one of my favorite cards.
Foreign Vindicate.
Not as awesome as Vindicate, though. That's another one of my favorites. This card, probably have to tell a couple people what this does, because not really many people play this card. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, creature, and land. So you need to target for all of them for you to play it. So I guess that's why not many people play it.
Still pretty awesome removal.
And the big finish,
It's a big
Armageddon.
boy. Now, all right, every deck needs some cards to take them over the top to gain an extra advantage. This grouping of cards, like, it's not necessarily categorized like the removal or the tutors, but basically all these cards can give a deck in EDH the edge. Take us through like some of the stuff that you selected.
First card, Skull Clamp. This has to be in just about every aggro deck, really. When your creature dies, you draw 2 cards. It lets you get right back in without falling too far behind.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Jitte, another good card with a lot of creatures like my deck. Lightning Greaves. Believe it or not, I just added this card a couple weeks ago, too. I mean, I guess I just didn't have room for it. Maybe I just forgot about the card, but
It's really good.
Shroud and Haste, big deal. Sword and Fire and Ice. I don't have the other one in here because I don't really like it too much, but this one, an extra 2 damage and drawing a card, awesome.
Keep your guys some ramp or mana fixers.
Yeah. I mean, add any color is pretty relevant in my deck because it's pretty mana intensive.
Nice. If you get a bunch of extra lands or whatever, you just pitch them to that.
Yeah, or I mean, just turn 1 Dark Confidant is usually pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Chromox.
Same deal.
Yep, same deal.
Nice.
This card, Bitter Blossom, I'm sure everyone knows what that does.
Yeah,
this card is really hard to beat, especially with Skull Clamp.
Nice.
Turn 1 Skull Clamp, turn 2 Bitter Blossom. I'm drawing all kinds of cards, getting in the game.
Right.
Let's see the next card here, Night's Whisper. I like this card a lot.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of people play it.
So last couple of those cards that you talked about, like you're giving up some life, but you're gaining some advantage.
Yeah.
And when you have 40 life, it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah,
so.
40 life, especially in Dark Confidant too, you would think that some people don't really want to play him in EDH, but because he's a little dangerous. But
Sure.
there's not really too many expensive cards in my deck. So
Yeah, I'm thinking like you're basically using your life as a resource in a beatdown deck, and those cards all do that exceptionally well. So I think those are cool ideas.
Exactly. This next card, Factor Fiction, pretty stable card. I'm sure everyone knows what
Little
that
card
does.
advantage.
This card, man, awesome. Imagine just going land, Mox Diamond, Dark Confidant. Next turn, play a land, play Wheel of Fortune. You're probably in the game. You have 3 mana and your opponent has 1.
Nice.
Draw 7 new cards.
There's something that's pretty tricky. Okay, this is the only Power 9 card that's legal in EDH. And what is that? This is like a foil version? It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty smooth. I'll kind of tilt it around there. I don't know if you can see the glare, but
Yeah, nice. It's blinging.
Yeah, it's a little bit of blinging.
Why do you play Time Twister in this deck?
I mean, Time Twister is just awesome. Draw 7 cards. I mean, sometimes I don't always have Dark Confidant and 5 cards in my hand. Sometimes I just have a couple creatures and I need to get back in the game. Time Twister does that, especially if I wasted some of my spells early. I need to get them back. Time Twister does all that.
All right, J-Mart, this looks like an awesome deck. I think a lot of people are going to try it out, try to build this. I know that I've seen you do like really well when you're playing multiplayer. How does this function though one-on-one?
One-on-one, this deck, I want to say maybe I've lost a couple of games, and it's only really been to you and that undefeated deck that you have. So I'm sure you have a video on that. Everyone wants to check that out.
We'll keep that one under wraps for right now.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us today on ElderDragon Highlander on YouTube. We're here with J-Mart. He's a Pro Tour player. He's top 8'd some Grand Prix, and he's bringing you guys the tech on the most ridiculous beatdown deck that in our local area. We've seen a lot, folks, and you should definitely try to build Horde of Notions.
Why do you have to do it right in front of the door? Come on.
Australia.
It's where you set it up.